Lauden Golf Intel Series. We're here to talk about our patent and a investigation on the Lab Series Callaway putter. So this was issued a year ago, August 22nd, 2018, but we have established a frequency over here. This is the new Odyssey Stroke Lab Series, and if we oscillate this putter, we're going to find out that the frequency is 346. Now if we go to the chart, okay, let's go to the chart, and we're at 35 inches at 346. We intersect, that's a 7.5 FM, okay? So that is for a 115 mile an hour swing. Obviously you're not swinging your putter at 115 miles an hour. So through our scientific investigation versus a subjective testing of this, we have found that this shaft does not store any energy. If the shaft does not store energy, you lose the four most important words in golf. That's feel, rhythm, acceleration, and timing. Now we're going to put the putter in here and rotate it to its pure angle, okay? So we have to find out not only the frequency, but if the putter is kicking in a linear fashion. So we're asking Callaway, why are you putting in a 350 cycle shaft in here? It gives you no feel, rhythm, timing, acceleration. You're not storing energy. But let's see if it's pure. As you can see, it's kicking sideways when I load the shaft in a vertical fashion. So what we do is we actually pure the golf club, and we drop the frequency from the mid 300s. And by the way, almost every shaft produced in every putter in the US runs about 320, 330 cycles at 35 inches. Drop it down 100 cycles to 220 like we have done. Now the club stores energy, the shaft stores energy, and even if you have a yip and stalled impact, this golf club has stored energy and kicks in there at 1.5 mph. So you can stop your stroke and still make a putt with a shaft that's been pured and frequencied to a 7 mile an hour stroke, and that's basically the mph for an average 20-foot putt. Now we're going to test this product, so let us set it up. We're back continuing our investigation of the Stroke Lab putters from Odyssey with our Intel series. Let's take a look at this. This is the gold standard from Ralph Maltby with a static test on our patent of the flight stabilizer, showing at least a 12% accuracy rating of a better dispersion of your shots and about 12 yards longer. And of course then we spent the big money with Iron Byron 2 Robotics out in California, again establishing basically an 18 to 30% more accuracy with a flight stabilizer installed on your driver or putter, and also about 10 to 12 yards further. There's your data, but we're back to talking about the Stroke Lab putters. So we just went and tested this, and it was 346 cycles, way too stiff for feel and putting, and we also found it was UnPure. But let's take a look at it versus our product. So we've got the auto release bio putter here. We call it the bio putter because it actually matches the biology of the body. Auto release means that when you stop the putter at impact, it still releases. It gets rid of all your yips, especially if you have a stalled impact. We've mounted the putter. Let's take a look at how pure it is. As you can see, it kicks in a pure fashion. And let's check that number, 223. 223. So let's go to the chart. We're up here at the chart at 35 inches at 223 down here. It's going to relate way down in here for about a 10 mile an hour swing. You can see it starts up here at 45 miles an hour. So your intersection's down here on the graph. So it's actually designed for the amount of mph you put into an average putt, which is roughly 5 to 10 miles an hour. The next thing we're going to do in this series, we're going to check the durometer and swing weight of these two putters. And again, swing weight is head weight proportional to length. And the more weight you have in a putter, the more feel you have. It's kind of a personal thing, but you know, when Ping came out with the putters, in the 60s and 70s when I was on their staff, you know, I constantly told Mr. Solheim to make his putters heavier. They were all in the C range. And then his son John actually started doing that in the 90s, which is a good compliment to him. But you need head weight for feel. So let's check the weights on these putters now. We're back with the comparison of Lauden Golf's flight stabilized bio auto release putter versus Callaways Lab Series, both with flight stabilizers. We've already indicated that this one runs at 346 cycles UnPure and this one 223 cycles pured. But let's now check the durometer. Remember, a real golf shop has scientific equipment to test the properties of a golf club. So we're going to test this durometer right here, and if we can get this correctly on the camera, we can see that that durometer is running about 88 durometers. That's how soft the insert is. Now we're going to take the bio auto release and test that, and we're running about 80 durometers. Now what that means to the putter, the golfer, is that has a softer insert. A softer insert keeps the ball in the face longer for control. In fact, that's why all these inserted putters that hit the market in the late 90s were so popular. And prior to that, if you notice, we were actually putting inserts of brass and copper in, which is a softer alloy and element over your regular stainless body. So the softer the insert for control, the opposite obviously for your driver. You want that driver elastic and hard for distance. Now, we've talked about some of the articles. This is an article that came out nationally on us about the flight stabilizer. But, you know, the patent actually has 10 utilities. It's not just the radial torque on the driver and the releasing aspect of the putter. But there's 10 advantages to a flight stabilizer. This is all up on YouTube to study. And, of course, you've got to have it backed up with scientific data. Ralph Maltby's Golf Works in static position, and of course dynamically tested and field tested by the Iron Byron 2 in California. All the data's there to show you that it actually does work. Next thing we're going to do is check that swing weight we talked about. Here we're going to put the Odyssey on, and we are going to find a swing weight of a standard D3. Swing weight's kind of personal, so we're not saying that's good or bad, but that's way better than having something in the C range. We're back ready to test the swing weights between these two opposing putters. The Odyssey Lab Series, let's test it. Put it on the swing weight scale, 14-inch fulcrum, head weight proportional to length, 35-inch, and it's running D2, D3. That's an average swing weight that you'll probably find consistently at a superstore. Here at Lauden Golf, it's custom fitted to you, just like the Tour. If you want a little bit heavier weight, lighter weight, you can get what you want. Make sure you keep it in the D range, though. You get in the C range, you lose that head feel. And, of course, the heavy putter that's out on the market is right off the scale. Well, let's test our Bio Auto Release Flight Stabilizer by Lauden Golf and see what we come up with. 35-inch with the square-to-square Big Softy Karma, and we come in at around D8. So that's going to give you a little bit better head feel, and that's going to help your putting. Now, to understand what you should do on your swing weight, if you have a little bit of a yips, you have some tendency to miss the 4-footers, I would recommend going high on the D range. This kind of smooths out your stroke. And if you're putting on faster greens, maybe a D1 or D0 on the swing weight. Now remember, it's head weight proportional to length, and always take into consideration how many gram grip you're putting on to get that final swing weight best suited for your putting stroke. Now, the next thing we want to talk about is that we can actually put this flight stabilizer auto release in any putter. This is the world famous Trillium by Scotty Cameron that Tiger won quite a few of his major championships with. And so it can be easily installed on your putter that you've fallen in love with for years. And now we have a putter that stores energy from 5 to 10 miles an hour. So you get that rhythm, feel, timing, and acceleration impact. Gets rid of the yips. And of course, here's Raymond Floyd's famous putter. by the Hansburgers, you know, the people that owned Ram. And Tom Watson played for them for 18 years successfully. Raymond won all of his majors, including his big one at Shinnecock, with this putter. Now it releases. So remember, you don't have to buy a new putter. Just install a flight stabilizer on your putter at the proper frequency you want and swing rate, and we'll help you with that. So remember, there's a lot of difference between production line equipment and handmade equipment. And what we've outlined today is the frequency of putters, the purity of putters, the swing weight, and the durometer readings. They're all important. Come by and see Lauden Golf. We got you covered. We're back to test these on the putting green. But if you go to YouTube, you'll notice the testing is subjective. That's all they do is putt with it and give an arbitrary idea if it works or not. Here at Lauden Golf, we scientifically test equipment. Let's try that Odyssey Lab series. And believe me, I'm trying to make these putts. Nick Price was in here about 10 years ago, and he told me the most important thing in putting, Jim, he said, is the sound of impact. That has a hollow sound. With this softer durometer, heavier weight, I actually can feel the putter click at impact. And it goes in or rims out. Get the feel of an auto-release putter shaft. Put it in your putter, combined by one of ours, it works. We're back testing that Bio-Auto release putter versus the Odyssey, and we've got one of the best putters in Jacksonville, Florida. This is Johnny Good from Sawgrass. He's got one of the better strokes. You'll notice that it's very low and slow to the ground. He makes a lot of putts, but listen to the impact. You hear that kind of hollow wooden sound. Give another one, John. John's actually using a lot of acceleration from his body because he's getting none from the shaft at 346 cycles. It's got that hollow sound, and of course he's missed all the putts. So when you have a putter that stores energy, it gets the ball to the hole. What do you think, John?
This just doesn't release at impact like the auto-releasing putter does. I've really got to hit the ball. You know.
So you're relying on your energy versus having a little helping hand from the putter.
Exactly. It doesn't get the ball to the hole, and you know, I have to hit it to get the ball to the hole. The makeup of the putter doesn't generate the energy to get the ball to the hole. No.
All right, John, go ahead and pick up the auto-release bio putter that Lauden Golf has been so successful with the flight stabilizer. Now let's get down there and listen to the impact zone again. It has a better click, and of course the ball goes in the hole.
Yeah.
So you can actually feel the stored energy and the released energy at impact, giving Johnny better feel, rhythm, and timing through the stroke. Two in a row. It works.